What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Devil Royale YouTube channel. We are here for round 3 of our 100-pick 3-round mock draft. This is the final round that we're doing. Make sure you go check out rounds 1 and 2. We're going to skip the intro because we're going to go a little faster in this one, but make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as we go through this. But Randy had the odds, so he is up here for the Carolina Panthers at pick 65. Where are you going with the Panthers?
Yeah, I make all of their picks. I'm going Rukaroro, defensive tackle from Clemson here. You got your wide receiver and edge, hopefully in the future. Earlier in the last round, getting to beef up the interior with your only good defensive player left, it feels like, is a good play for the future.
Yeah. All right, 66. I'm going Cam Hart, the corner from Notre Dame to the Arizona Cardinals. They desperately need corner help. Cam Hart has had a terrific pre-draft process, and really the film from Notre Dame was really good as well. This is giving you a potential CB1 for the future here for the Cardinals in round 3.
Yeah. Commanders here at 67. We got the quarterback, wide receiver, offensive tackle, the future. We're going to try again to get another of the future need here. They need edge help badly. Marshawn Nealand, edge from Western Michigan, is the smart pick here. Definitely the best edge on the board for the style of play that they like. So it's going to be a good fit, plug and play. Again, they traded both their edges last year. They need to replace them as best as possible.
Yeah, that's a great pick as well. Here at 68, the New England Patriots, who if you're watching on YouTube, you saw the screen. Roman Wilson, the wide receiver from Michigan. They added Bo Nix in round 2. They traded back in round 1. They have the ability to kind of build this roster to become competitive, which is something that they're not. Roman Wilson is a pro-ready wide receiver, plays inside and out. I think he's best as a slot wide receiver for you, but he can also stretch the field vertically. I think this is a guy that they don't have currently on the roster, so go get him now.
Yeah, you got 4 starting quality receivers now. You got your quarterback of the future. You should be able to, and your starting quarterback next year in Brissett likes to air it out when he can. Roman Wilson should be able to make impacts all over the field. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he would have been loved to go here at 69 to the Chargers, but because he's gone and we've gotten the other positions out of the way of need for them, we're going to go with Curran Amagiji. God, we literally looked it up and I failed instantly. It's so bad. But the offensive tackle from Yale, a very quality upside tackle. Again, lower division here. So it's a little bit of a project and, hoping he produces. But what you have at right tackle right now is nothing, in my opinion. So getting a guy that can step in, has the size, has the intangibles, measurables to be a starting tackle in this league in the 3rd round is a great pick.
Yeah, I love this pick. He's one of my favorite players in this class. All right, here at 70, the New York Giants have Devin Singletary. They have Eric Gray. They're going to take RB2 off the board, and that's going to be Trey Benson, running back from Florida State. Once again, another player that's had a great pre-draft process, but really his 2022 film was better than 2023. I think that player is still there. I think that he's an explosive player. They need explosive players. They definitely need to replace Saquon Barkley in some way. Benson's not going to give you everything that Saquon did, but he's also younger, probably faster at this point, and can at least offer a better committee lead than what they've got.
Yep. All right. 71 Cardinals killing this draft, getting Junior Colson at linebacker from Michigan. Again, they need everything, so let's get everything. And I think they're getting starting so far. They've gotten starting caliber picks at every single spot.
Yeah, this is a great pick. Love this one. 72. I have the Jets taking Leonard Taylor, the defensive tackle from Miami. This is a kid that he reminds me of Javon Dexter from last year, where you're betting on the 5-star-ness of him and the flashes that you see. And so I think Leonard Taylor certainly has that. I don't think he's a finished product at all, but I also think that the Jets don't need him to be. This is kind of a depth pick. I think they do need defensive tackle help, but to me, this is let's take a shot on this guy and hope that he can be impactful as we try to make a Super Bowl run here in the 1 or 2 years that we have a window, because that's really all they've got with Aaron Rodgers there.
Yep. Detroit at 73, getting Jaden Hicks, safety from Washington State, another impact player for them, and should be safety of the future for them. They need safety help still. I think we've gotten their two biggest needs off the board now in corner and safety, and we still already got an offensive lineman of the future that's incredible for them. So it makes the most sense to get Jaden Hicks, who, not just flashes, just good tape all around. It's just the safety class isn't the best, so he's a second or third safety at the board technically, but easily could be the best out of this class.
Yeah, I like his film. 74, I have the Falcons taking Malachi Corley, wide receiver from Western Kentucky. They traded for Rondale Moore, and everyone said, oh, they don't need a wide receiver now. Yes, they do. They still need wide receiver help. I don't think that they need it at the top of the first round like many thought, but Malachi Corley gives them an element that they don't have. I think actually when you mix Corley and Rondale Moore, you're getting one productive player. I'm pretty low on Corley for what he is, but I also think that there's a role for him in this offense. I think that they can be super successful rolling out a trio of Drake London, whoever their wide receiver 2 is that I can't think of right now, and Malachi Corley.
Fair enough.
Who didn't they sign someone? Am I crazy?
Yeah, dude.
It's not Rondale Moore. No. Darnell Mooney. Duh.
Thank you.
Duh. Darnell Mooney.
The most obvious one, too.
Right.
Yeah. So let's hope he's out there doing more than just cardio like Rondale Moore. But it's a good fit. Again, this is how they should do it. Get the positions of need in corner and edge, and then get a guy that can rotate in and hopefully develop as your wide receiver 3. Bears at 75, taking Braylon Trice, edge from Washington. You have one of the best edges in football, Montez Sweat. The other side isn't really complete. At least we know Trice has the tape, has the effort, has the ability to take over, at least play rotational snaps year one. But a great pick for them that fills a need. Yeah, in my opinion, edge at this part of the draft is a bigger need than left tackle, because any tackle you're picking here isn't necessarily playing right away, but any edge you're picking here can easily rotate in day one.
No, that's absolutely right. This is a crazy good value pick, in my opinion. And I think the Bears fans especially would be ecstatic about this one. Here at 76, I'm taking Jalen McMillan, the wide receiver from Washington, to the Denver Broncos. I make jokes. The Broncos don't currently have like a good wide receiver. I think Cortland Sutton's a fine wide receiver. I think Marvin Mims has upside, but we don't know what he is because he didn't get to play last year. Jalen McMillan would walk into that team and arguably command more targets than both of those guys. I think that as a starting slot wide receiver, Jalen McMillan has it, and I think that he's more than that. He can be a Z wide receiver for you, but when you look at how Washington used him, to me, this is an explosive player. Tyler Boyd is kind of my comp for him. I think that he's got some nice ability to be an impact player at the NFL level.
All right, and continuing the wide receiver train here at 77 for the Raiders. Again, a team that could use more things, but I don't love the corners on the board here for them. So I'm going to help make a strength to strength. We're going to get Devontae Walker, wide receiver from UNC. A guy, unlike everyone else we've talked about, it feels like, has been falling down draft boards after he rose up way too high. Really, we don't have enough tape and everything on this guy. He's a good player, good upside, can be a starting Z for you. It should be an impact player. I know they kind of got Jacoby moving from slot to Z last year. I think that allows them to kind of play the field and have all three move around all over. You're getting rid of a pure slot in Renfro to take in Devontae Walker for a tenth of the money.
Yeah. Between Trey Tucker and Devontae Walker, they have a nice third level of the field attack right there. So
they need another receiver that can actually make an impact, though. Just in case Trey doesn't fully work out or any of the other two get hurt, this makes the most sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Pick 78, I have the Washington Commanders taking Cade Stover, the tight end from Ohio State. They need another tight end. They don't. I know they're trying to patchwork this room, but I don't think they've got it yet. And Cade Stover to me is that all-around do-it-all tight end that can be an effective blocker. I don't necessarily think they have a player like that on their roster. I think that this is a little early for Cade Stover for my liking, but I also think that the NFL is going to like him quite a bit.
I was going to say, you're telling me Dan Quinn's not going to fall in love with Cade Stover? From the interviews we've seen from him, oh my God, they're going to be best friends. 79 for the Falcons. Yeah, again, we've filled all the other needs. Let's get another pass rush D tackle in here. Brandon Dorless, D tackle Morgan. We just talked about maybe Stover went a little too high. This could be a little too low for Dorless. A good tweener guy like every other D tackle in this class, it feels like. But a lot of good talent here, and to pair with what you already have on this defensive line, it should make this a strength again to what it was supposed to be during the last Super Bowl run that didn't really fully go to fruition. Let's make that actually happen this time.
Yeah, I like that pick. Here at pick 80, the Bengals, remember, if you watched round 2, you know they traded T. Higgins. And so they need to add to the room in some form or fashion, even if they sign Tyler Boyd back or however they choose to patchwork that. Pick 80, I have them going Jalen Polk, wide receiver from Washington. This is a guy that I like him. I think that he does a lot of things well. I just don't know that he's a special player. I think that he can attack the third level of the field pretty well. I think that he can be a versatile piece underneath as well. I'm curious to see how they'd use him, but to me, this is the type of wide receiver that they'd be looking at in this range.
I do think it's important that the Bengals do like 2 of their backups from last year and think that they have the opportunity to rotate in and be starters. So getting another guy to help that is a smart play if you're going to move on from Higgins or if he's moving on from you, which seems to be more likely the case. So 81 for the Seahawks. You've filled a bunch of needs. I think you like what you have at the exposition already from what you're bringing back, but let's help make it a bigger strength. You already traded your second-round pick to get more of an interior pass rusher in Leonard Williams and re-sign him. Let's get Austin Booker, the edge from Kansas, to rotate in with William Mafe, and I can't remember the other guy off the top of my head, and I believe Darrell Taylor went back. But now we have an entire unit up front that can continue to rotate and work in. Austin Booker is definitely going to be more of a stand-up guy on the outside, but can make a lot of impact for you and just help build this team into what you need to be. They paid people. They don't have a lot of holes that are just outstanding. At least that's sitting here. Safety was a heavy consideration, I will say, but I think edge is a bigger need to help their rotation.
Yeah. Speaking of safety, here at 82, I have the Colts taking Cameron Kinchens, the safety from Miami. It's a player that has certainly hurt his stock in the pre-draft process. He tested very, very poorly at the combine. But when you turn on the film, once again, kind of like Tyler Nubin, the instincts, the range, the play speed, it's all very good. I think that he's maybe not the most consistent safety, but I also think if you're wanting to throw some single high stuff out there, I think that Cameron Kinchens is the way to go. To me, this Colts defense just needs to – they primarily throw cover 2 stuff out there. I think that he can fit in that mold, but I also think that this would allow them to do more cover 3 stuff with one safety over top and rotate him into that role.
Yeah. Rams 83, Gabriel Murphy, edge from UCLA. Very overshadowed by Leite Latu, rightfully so, but a good talent nonetheless. Should be able to make an impact for them. All their pass rush and run defense was Aaron Donald. He's gone. You brought in Johnny Newton to be a good enough replacement that he can get you into your pass rush and make some plays in the run game. Murphy might step in as your second best pass rusher day one.
Yeah, I love this pick. I love Gabriel Murphy. I actually, not to toot my own horn or anything, but when I was watching Latu in the summer, I was like, man, this other kid's good. And I marked him down and then I graded him. And then I realized, oh yeah, maybe he's going to be a day 2 pick. I think this is the right range for him as well here in round 3. Pick 84, I have the Steelers taking Cole Bishop, the safety from Utah, which is a really big safety with instincts, hard-hitting ability. I think that this is a type of player that helps them round out that secondary. I can't even remember who we had them taking. We had them taking an offensive tackle. We had them taking a corner.
Mims and Lassiter.
Yeah, so now we're going to continue building that defensive secondary, really help Russell Wilson or Justin Fields and give them a really good defense to hang their hat on the Pittsburgh Steelers way. Cole Bishop helps that out.
And we've also taken all the receivers off the board, so
that too.
That hurts them. Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk of Justin Simmons wanting to go there, but the money has to be right. It's going to cost them probably too much. They already have one of the highest paid defenses in the league. Let's just get Young at the position and pair with an already elite safety. And already elite, let's go with the Browns at 85. Sorry, I had to do it. Blake Fisher, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Again, we got a backup edge rusher for them already. They don't really have team needs, at least that fit the board. I think you could go linebacker, but you brought in veterans to make up for who you lost. It's just a tough one. I think they go linebacker later. I'm going to take a swing tackle just because I think there's a chance. There's a greater chance than any that Conklin's hurt again and DeJuan Jones takes over. And then we really don't have a good swing tackle behind him or the future or anything. I think Blake Fisher can actually step in and do some good there. I think, Hudson, I think might need to kick inside to get more consistent play out of him. So I think this is the best team building, especially when you, rightfully so, let the best offensive line coach of football go coach with his son. Let's, instead of relying on that coach to make this offensive line continue to be a strength, let's inject more life into it to make sure, because the Browns have had consistent injuries at the offensive line, especially right tackle.
Yeah, no, this is a good pick. 86, Theo Johnson, tight end, Penn State, going to the Houston Texans. This is once again, like when we talk about building the tight end room, Dalton Schultz does one thing really, really well. I think he's a good pass catcher. I don't necessarily think he's a great blocker. Theo Johnson, to me, is a combination of the two. I think that he can be a nice complementary tight end too, with upside as a pass catcher in the future. But right now, you want him blocking instead of Brevin Jordan. I promise you that. You still can use Brevin Jordan in certain scenarios as a pass catcher. But I also think that this gives you a more solid tight end 2 in the natural form of what a tight end 2 would look like.
Yeah, you want Brevin Jordan catching passes, but he's never truly developed the run blocking we were hoping. Theo Johnson has a good mix of both that has shown flashes in the pass catching game. It makes sense. 87, Cowboys continuing the Jerry Jones draft from hell or heaven, depending on who you are. Bo Limmer, center from Arkansas. Can't play guard, but again, your starting center is gone. You need a center. We know this is where Jerry's from. We know he probably has bought him at least a drink already because he wanted to go there and party with him or something. This is a weird Jerry draft, but it's hilarious. And I'd be more shocked if neither of these three go to the Cowboys than if all three go. But at least Bo is a really good interior offensive lineman. I think he'd easily be your starting center. I don't think he's going to be necessarily, like all pro in the first couple of years. This isn't the Zach Martin pick where you just got the steal of the draft or anything, but this is a guy that can easily start for you.
Yeah, I actually really like this pick. I think Jerry did a good job with this draft, to be honest. There's three good players.
It's just hilarious. 2 Texas boy and then Arkansas.
It's funny, but it's also probably what the Cowboys need at this point. I think this is their path forward. So here, the Green Bay Packers, they moved on from Aaron Jones. They signed Josh Jacobs. They brought back AJ Dillon.
Cuttable contract.
Very true. And also should be the RB3 for that team because of the style that Josh Jacobs is. What they need is someone a little bit different from what Josh Jacobs is. That's Jalen Wright, the running back from Tennessee. This kid is a big play machine. He can pop off any, 50-plus yard run, and he's probably going to outrun the defensive backs once he gets into the open field, runs with good patience. This is another weapon for an offense that should be one of the best in football if Jordan Love continues his ascension. I think that Jalen Wright would have an opportunity to be a really, really good complementary back. I know they like Emmanuel Wilson as well, but I don't think they want to rely on Emmanuel Wilson getting a lot of touches. Jalen Wright to me is an 8 to 10 touch, powerhouse of a big play machine. So instead of the popular pick of Braylon Allen, by the way, to replace AJ Dillon, you don't need that anymore. You want 2 separate types of running backs. And if they brought back Aaron Jones, I could understand that. They didn't. We go with Jalen Wright.
Yeah. All right. Tampa Bay at 89. We're going to get Christian Mahogany, guard / interior offensive line, I guess. from Boston College. I think he can compete and win the left guard spot. That's your weakest spot in the offensive line currently. I think he can win it. And if Christian Mahogany doesn't go in the first 2 days, I think it's a travesty. So I think for some reason I love the guards in this class.
I mean, they're good. They're good. They're probably undervalued in this mock. Honestly, I think they could go earlier than this. 90, I'm taking Kalen Carson, corner from Wake Forest. I know Arizona just took a corner at pick 66. I was the one who did it, but we're going to double tap the position because we need this position so badly, and we have so many picks. Kalen Carson, to me, has as much upside as Cam Hart to be a corner one. I really like his film. I don't see, at first I was seeing some first round talk. I think I see like a top 75 player. He's obviously out of that range. But I think that he's a starting corner in this league at some point, and I think that taking 2 shots at a position of need is a smart move for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and again, they're a blank slate besides tackle and quarterback. So double tap in a position, especially when it's not a position we took in the top 3 picks, it makes a ton of sense. 91, Green Bay, again on the board, somehow for me again. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., linebacker from Clemson, paired with Quay Walker for the future. You got rid of Campbell without talking to him, a little bit shady. But either way, you need somebody to actually pair with Quay, even if you want Quay to take over that role, even if, honestly, on-field maturity probably doesn't want me to do that. Getting an actual leader, which I think Trotter is, I think this is a good pairing.
Yeah, I like that pick. 92, Tampa Bay is taking Braylon Allen, running back from Wisconsin. I mentioned him. I don't think he's a day 2 player for what it's worth, but I think when you factor in his age, how productive he's been, I think it's kind of inevitable that he's selected in the top 100. To me, this is the inverse of the Green Bay pick of Jalen Wright. We have Rashad White. He is that fast, more elusive guy, I think, and can be a better pass catcher for you. Braylon Allen might be your grinded out type of, we need 3 yards. We're going to get 3 yards from Braylon Allen in a straight shooting, downhill running scheme. Please just get him downhill. I know they did some outside zone stuff. They're going to continue doing outside zone stuff, but I think this gives you versatility to implement some gap scheme runs. This gives you more, versatility on offense in general. So to me, bad pick, but also I get it. And I mean,
it's a good backfield pairing, at least.
Yeah.
All right. 93, we're going to get a wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens in Jermaine Burton, wide receiver from Alabama. A talented guy, not your typical top of the board Bama receiver, but a guy that's been on the field and rotated in and has played good snaps. I think he can be a quality receiver for the Ravens, who need rotational help right now desperately, especially cutting Odell, which I think is the right move. Just team building for the future. You paying Derrick Henry and all that. So I'd rather pay Derrick Henry than Odell at this point. And what you saw at Zay Flowers, I think encouraged you so much as well. You have a decent receiving room. We're going to get your tight end back. Burton makes the most sense.
Yeah. All right, we have another trade coming up here for pick 94. The Chargers are going to send pick 105 and pick 181 to the 49ers to get a player that I think Jim Harbaugh is going to really love, and that's not Blake Corum. It's Roger Rosengarten, the offensive tackle from Washington. I know we are double tapping the offensive tackle position here because we had a Mega G earlier, but I also think that double tapping the offensive tackle position is exactly how you keep Justin Herbert upright. Trey Pipkins is not really a good scheme fit. I know everyone's going to say they're paying him $7 million a year. It doesn't matter. We don't care about that. What we want is we want depth at the offensive tackle position. This allows you to have that. These guys can move. They can be bruisers. Roger Rosengarten is very deserving of being a top 100 pick here. He's in a battle, I think, for the right tackle position from day one in Los Angeles. So go ahead.
I was going to say, the only spots that are solidified is left tackle, left guard with Slater and Zion Johnson.
Right.
You brought in Bradley Bozeman, so you didn't have to reach for a center. I still think they probably take one here in day 3. But Sawyer and Pipkins have been nothing miraculous, and honestly been a lot of the issues getting Justin Herbert hit a lot. So we're going to take 2 shots. Of those 4 guys, 2 are starting.
And
And I wouldn't be
honestly,
surprised if it was the rookies.
well, I was gonna say, Mega G's probably in this scenario, he's probably starting at right guard, and then Roger
Probably.
Rosengarten starting at right tackle, and then you're set, and you have a nice young offensive line.
Even if Pipkins beats him out for the early parts of this year, you can move on from Pipkins next year. You just double tap this spot. You can work outside of the future, but your offensive line is retooled in the image of the coach that you have, which is going to want to pound the rock.
Yep.
So plain and
100%.
simple, it makes the most sense. Moving on to 95th, Kansas City, not getting a wide receiver of the future. We're going to get corner of the future after we just traded away Snead to the Titans for picking the next round, or no, third round next year, fifth round this year, I believe, or something like that. So Curtis Abrams-Drain, a corner from Missouri, a guy that you're probably going to hear up the board a bit, but I think this is better fitted. I don't think he slots in as your corner two. I think he rotates in as your slot corner. But that's what they've built this team to do. They were prepared for Snead to be gone. And I think they understand that. I think they could take a corner in the first round if the one they want is there. But I think they took the edge rusher. They took elsewhere a safety to be the slot corner rotational. I think Abrams-Drain has the upside to be your corner two alongside McDuffie, but I'm not sure it's this year. But either way, we need another body in that room. And receiver isn't the value pick here. Abrams-Drain easily is.
Yeah, good pick. 96 here. Jacksonville Jaguars are taking Mo Camara, the edge from Colorado State. High motor player, displays good bend. I think this is a situation where they need to add to this room pretty desperately, and we did not have them do that early on. And so we had them take a corner, we had them take a wide receiver. Now they're going to go get their other position of need in Mo Camara. It's an upside shot. It's a day two, but almost day three pick. You're hoping that this guy can rotate in. He's got the traits and the tools to do so. As you know, they continue to try to build around Trevor Lawrence in some way, and one of those ways is getting a better defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, and getting a better defense continues here for the Bengals, taking Andrew Phillips, corner from Kentucky. You lost J.W. Wusier. You need corner help and depth. We got offensive tackle. We got linebacker. We got wide receiver. Now we're going to get a corner. You already paid for the D tackle upgrade and replacement. I won't say upgrade, just replacement. And I think that makes the most sense. So now we get corner replacement for Chidobe, and we move on. I mean, the Bengals are at a point where they're not, rebuild. We're retooling. We're just filling out the spots that we lost that got overpaid in free agency. Yeah, we had to trade T. That sucks, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Here at 98, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Tanner Bortolini, center from Wisconsin. To me, they just need to continue building an offensive line that can protect Russell Wilson and or Justin Fields. This is an important piece of it. Tanner Bortolini is an elite athlete, went crazy at the combine. He's got good film, and he's an offensive lineman from Wisconsin. We know that those guys tend to get bumped up a little bit because of the nature of being that. Even if the offensive line of Wisconsin was not always good over the last couple of years, Bortolini has been. I think he can move pretty well. Pittsburgh's going to love him. Arthur Smith's going to love him. And he's your starting center of the future there.
I was going to say, what you've been trying at center has been working. They're better guards than centers. So getting a guy that can actually try and take that position in the third round, after you already did everything else, come on. And again, no receiver that we like here. Thankfully, Blake Corum off the board here in many people's eyes. 99 to the Los Angeles Rams. Blake Corum, running back from Michigan, if you didn't already know somehow. I think this is a good spot for him. He's not thrust into trying to be the lead back day one, like if he would have been picked at that trade up at 94, like I feel like everyone thought. But him going here to sit behind Kyron Williams and actually just rotate in with them. They need a rotational back. Kyron was taking 100% of the workload. That's why he got hurt. Not because he's injury prone or anything. It's just that's a lot of touches. Even if you're going to give him 70% of the touches, giving Blake Corum 30% and letting him try to be efficient off that, for what you're trying to do with a passing game, trade for T. Higgins, good Lord. Getting a pairing of running backs for the future is smart.
Yeah, they definitely need an RB2. Corum is an RB1B. So it's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. For what it's worth, I've talked about it a little bit in the past on different shows, but Blake Corum from a film perspective, still the best running back in the class. But when you start to factor in some of the other stuff, he's older, the injury, the film after the injury, I think you can justify him being 5, 6, 7, whatever in your rankings. But from a film perspective, this kid is talented. He's a very good running back. And we know they already have that mold with Kyren Williams. So, all right, last pick here. Pick 100. The Washington Commanders take Mason McCormick, the guard for South Dakota State. This is one where we've beefed up pretty much everywhere. The Commanders have a lot of picks on the top 100. They are going to try to build around this rookie quarterback in the best way they know. Mason McCormick has been a huge riser in this process. South Dakota State guys often are huge risers in the pre-draft process. This to me is his range. I think that these other guards that we've talked about are certainly still better, but this kid is nasty. I think he could start a guard for them. Maybe left guard week 1, but really I think you're hoping that he's just a sixth piece of that offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, once we're in the third round, if they don't start year 1, we're okay with it. If they're rotating in or they're a backup in terms of guard. But I mean, he's not taking Sam Cosmi's spot, but Nick Olagridi, he could take that spot. I know they brought him in, but he could take it.
Yeah, that's the thing. No job is safe, especially with a team like this where there's so many holes. So, all right, that'll do it for our 100 pick 3-round mock draft. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. We're factoring in team needs. We're getting a little crazy with some of these trades, but we're having fun doing it. The NFL draft is always crazy. It's crazier than even some of the mock drafts that we put together. So I wouldn't be shocked if some of these things happened and some of these things look very silly, especially some of these day 2 picks. But I think we gave it our best shot. Hopefully you liked it. If you didn't, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you would do different for your favorite team, or let us know why you agree with how it went. So, Randy, last thoughts on our 3-rounder.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
But very fun to do as always. And hopefully we locked a lot of the picks. I'm sure there's a few fan bases that aren't going to love him. I think the Bengals probably hate this one, but they're going to hate anything where T. Higgins is traded and you're not getting a first-round pick or early second. You're not just replacing them 1-for-1, which is impossible. So it's going to be tough. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Jacksonville will throw 17 and they take Brian Thomas Jr. and just re-roll it, but I don't think that's happening if they're not throwing 17 for Brandon Ayuk. So it's we'll see. But NFL draft is like a month away. We're here. We're almost here. We'll have a lot more coming out. I don't know how many more mock drafts we'll be doing on this site, but we are working through one with patrons and a few people from Twitter as well. So that will be a video once we get through that. I believe that's going to be 3-rounder as well. So another 100 picker with a ton of someone's representing every team. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Kevin's got the Dynasty Show going every week. We've got a lot of stuff coming. I'm going to try to hit some Debbie stuff here very soon. So we're in it. We're in it. So thank you guys for watching. We'll talk to you guys next time.